Okay, in my Patreon exclusive portion, I want to address something that someone asked me over the last few days. I had a guy write me, and he said, Alan, I generally like your Mo 1, but the problem I have with Mo 1 is I think when you're in a public situation, like say you approach a woman and she has 2 girlfriends with her, I think it causes you to lose face. I think Mo 1 has a high potential to cause you to lose face. In case you're not familiar with the term, lose face means simply causes you to be embarrassed or humiliated in a public environment. That's what it means to lose face. Anytime somebody causes shame to come upon you, embarrassment, loss of respect and dignity, that means basically you got humiliated in public. That means you lost face. And this guy was trying to make the argument that he feels like Mo 1 caused you to lose face. Well, I just simply say this. I disagree with that. And if anybody's a long time follower of me, they'll know some of my stories. I'm going to try to tell at least 2 or 3 stories that will indicate just the opposite. Now, I'll start off with this question. I've used this analogy before. If anybody's a basketball fan, and you watch a lot of basketball, have you ever seen a situation where a short guy drove down the lane and rose up and tried to dunk on a taller guy but missed? Rose up and tried to dunk on a taller guy, but he missed. If you've ever seen that situation, what did the crowd do? What did the crowd do? And for those of you who've never seen that, either live or on a video, I'll tell you what they did. Crowd usually goes crazy. Even though the person missed the dunk, the crowd usually goes crazy. They'll stand up sometimes in their seats cheering and stuff. Why is that? Why is that? Why are they cheering for a guy that ultimately missed the shot? Because just the fact that he tried to dunk over someone who was significantly taller than him shows that he has big balls, that he's a bold motherfucker for even attempting to dunk on somebody taller than him. It shows that he's bold for even attempting that. That's been my experience with Mo 1. That's been my experience with Mo 1. Like, probably my most infamous story along these lines, and I've told this story probably like 4 or 5 times. I know I told it quite a few times when I was on Blog Talk Radio, and I want to say I told it at least 2 or 3 times since I've been on YouTube. But there used to be this nightclub in Chicago that was real popular called the Excalibur nightclub. Yeah, it was real popular, starting with the late 80s and early 90s. I used to go there, I want to say, starting with around 1989, all the way up until I moved to California in 1994. I used to go to Excalibur. And one time, there was this woman at the Excalibur, black woman, real attractive, and she had on this long gown with this split that came up the side. And you can see all the way up to like the top of her thigh, bottom of her butt with this split. And all these guys were approaching her. And she was just crushing them left and right, just rejecting them. So I went in and shot my bid. I approached her. And I started off, I said, look, I've seen all these other men approach you. And you crushed their poor egos immediately. But I'm just going to tell you this straightforwardly. You a sexy motherfucker. And she gave me a look like, what did you call me? I said, you a sexy motherfucker. And if I had my way, you know what I would do? I would find a secluded area of this nightclub. I would lean you up against the wall. and I would slide that gown up and reveal that nice, round, soft ass I know you got, and I would fuck the shit out of you. And she said, what? What did you say? Excuse me? I said, you're excused. She said, well, that's never going to happen. Number one, I have a boyfriend. And number two, I don't like men who approach me like that. And blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. And so I walked away, left alone. Now, you would think that would be the end of the story, right? You would think that would be the end of the story. No, it wasn't. This woman, I was standing out in like the kind of what I call the lobby area. I see this woman with another woman with her, and she points at me. She says, there he is, there he is. And so one of her girlfriends said, so you Mr. Nasty Mouth, huh? I said, yeah, if you want to call me that. I said, what's it to you? She said, I heard what you said to my girlfriend here. I said, you did? Yeah. So? And she said, I can't believe you said that to her. I said, well, believe it. And she said a few other things. Then she left. Then this same woman, the woman I approached, she brought a second girlfriend out and said, there he is. There he is right there. Then the girlfriend was like, what's your name? I said, Alan Roger Currie. She said, you something else. From what I hear, you got some kind of mouth on you. I said, yeah, I do. But what's it to you? And she said, oh, I'm just tripping. My girlfriend told me everything you said, and we just been talking about you. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, y'all talking about me, but, just let me know when y'all want to fuck. That's what you let me know. And then the second one was like, and I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, she brought out a third girlfriend. It might have only been two, but I believe it was a third girlfriend she brought out and introduced to me. And they said a lot of the same shit. Like, basically, they was tripping over the fact of how bold I was, how Mode 1 hardcore I was. Now, let's pause right there. Number one, would you say I lost face in that scenario? No. If anything, it was just the opposite. My level of respect went up, particularly in the minds of her girlfriends. All her girlfriends who came out to that lobby talking to me gave me a look like, you a bad motherfucker. You a bold motherfucker to say some shit like that. You bold as hell. They gave me respect for my boldness. Now, the downside was I didn't get no pussy from them. None of them gave me no pussy. So that's what I would call the downside. But the upside was I didn't lose no respect. And here was the kicker. And if people remember this story, they'll remember it because here was the major kicker. Now, fast forward about, I'd say somewhere between maybe 6-7 months later. I'm at a popular Chicago landmark called Navy Pier. If anybody's been either lived in Chicago or visited Chicago, they should be well aware of Navy Pier. That's one of the most popular spots in Chicago. And I was at Navy Pier with my cousin and some of his friends. And we were sitting there. And at one point, my cousin's friend tapped me. He said, hey, Alan. I said, what's up, man? He said, there's some woman standing a few feet away from us, man. She's just like staring you up and down. And so I looked over. And she was, she was attractive, but I didn't recognize her. But she was attractive. I said, damn. I said, I don't know who that is. Maybe she thinks I'm somebody else. So I kept on talking. So then my cousin friend tapped me again. He said, no, Alan, man, I'm telling you, man, this woman is like staring at you like y'all know each other. Like maybe y'all used to date or something. So I said, okay, I'm going to go over and talk to her. So I headed towards her. And I said, do we know each other? And she said, how quickly you forget. Alan Roger Currie. Now this woman remember my name. I ain't seen her in like 7 months. She says, how quickly we forget. Alan Roger Currie. So first thing I said, what? Did we go to high school together? She said, no. I said, did we go to Indiana University together? She said, no. I said, huh. I said, did we used to work together in Chicago? She said, no. So fine, I'm like, basically like, where do I know you from? She said, she put her hands on her hips, and she said, you really don't remember me? I said, no, I swear. Then I lightheartedly said, I said, did we? Meaning, that meant, did we fuck? I like, threw her fist. I said, did we? Basically asking, did we fuck? And she said, no, we were never intimate. She said, I'll jog your memory. She said, Excalibur. And first it didn't hit me. I said, okay, Excalibur. Then, after thinking about a few seconds, it hit me. I said, I remember you. You had on the long gown with the slit. And she nodded her head like, yeah. I said, yeah, you kept introducing your girlfriends to me. And she said, now you remember. She told me her name. I can't remember it. But she said, do you know, I've told probably about 20 to 25 of my girlfriends about how you approached me. And I said, really? So I left that indelible of an impression on you. She said, oh, most certainly. I said, well, then, damn, we need to fuck then. If I left that much of an impression on you, we need to fuck. And then she held up, she had a ring. She said, I'm engaged. I said, oh, really? She said, matter of fact, the night I met you, I told you I had a boyfriend. You probably didn't believe me, but I had a boyfriend, and he engaged to me. He proposed to me, and now we're engaged. I said, so you're engaged to be married, but yet you still telling your girlfriends about that night I approached you? She said, yeah. She said, because I've never had a man approach me like that, ever. She said, I've never, ever in my life had a man approach me the way that you approach me. She said, that's still, she said, I'll never get that out of my head. So all that to say is this. Again, the downside was I never ended up fucking this woman. Well, that's the bad news. But could anybody accuse me of losing face? No. If anything, my rep went up in this woman's mind. She was basically like, ain't no man ever had the balls to approach me like that. Another similar story, and I've told this story at least a handful of times, was when I was going to school. One time I was in the library, and there was this attractive woman in a cubicle. You know, if you ever been to a college library, you can either study outside in the open, or sometimes they have these like boxed in cubicles, glass cubicles. You can study to separate yourself from noise and other people. And so I saw her in this cubicle. So I went in her cubicle. And I simply said, next Friday or next Saturday? She said, I beg your pardon? I said, oh, you don't need to beg for anything just yet. I said, next Friday, next Saturday. She said, excuse me? I said, you're excused. Next Friday or next Saturday? She said, what are you talking about? What do you mean next Friday, next Saturday? I said, I'm inviting you to share my company. Do you want to share my company next Friday or next Saturday? And she said, share your company and do what? I said, well, there's a few things we could do, but the number one thing on my mind is I want to fuck. And she, had that shock response like, what? Did you just really say that? I said, yeah, I want to fuck you. I said, you're attractive, I want to fuck you. And she said, do you approach all women like this? I said, why are you concerned? Let's just talk about you. She said, I can't believe you said that. I said, well, believe it. And we kind of had a little bit more of an exchange. So then she said something to the effect of, well, I don't know you, and that's not going to happen. I said, okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Have a good day. Now, you would think that would be the end of it, right? No. She was like, wait. As I was getting to leave the cubicle. This was her, the woman who supposedly had just rejected me. She was like, wait. I want to ask you some more questions. I said, why? I said, we ain't fucking. Why you want to ask me some more questions? She said, cause I am like totally intrigued by you now. I can't believe you would just like straightforwardly say that to me. I said, well, I did. And for all practical purposes, you rejected my invitation, so now I'm about to go on my way. She said, no, I don't want you to leave. Why would that woman say that? Even though she's already told me she ain't interested in fucking. Why would she say, I don't want you to leave? Again, did I lose face in her eyes? No. This woman kept literally damn near begging me to stay in her cubicle and continue to talk to her. And I resisted. I said, no. I said, if you ain't gonna give me no pussy, I said, I have no more reason to talk to you. And so after going back and forth with a little bit more, I left. And she, similar to the woman in Excalibur, I ran into her at least one more time a few weeks later, and she told me that she told like at least a half a dozen of her girlfriends about me and how bold and straightforward my approach was. In either of those stories, did I lose face? No. Here's when you're going to lose face, is when you go up to women in a very timid, non-confident, awkward, or nervous manner, and the woman rejects you. That's when you're going to lose face, in real simple terms. If you go up to a woman like, hey, excuse me, hey, Linda, I was just wondering, would you like to come over to my place sometime and we can maybe play Scrabble or something? And she says, oh, hell no, I'm not coming over your place and playing no damn Scrabble. Dismiss yourself. And let's say she's with 2 or 3 girlfriends. See, that's when they're going to all laugh at you because your approach was so weak. The weaker your approach is, the more potential it is for you to lose face. Not bold approaches. That's the main reason why I always like to approach women in a very bold, ultra-confident manner. I can't think of a time when I approached a woman in a very bold, ultra-confident, bordering on cocky, and sexually straightforward manner where I lost face in the eyes of the woman I approached, or if she happened to have women with her, I lost face among them. I'm serious. I don't think I've ever had that happen. The only time you're going to lose face, man, is when your approach is when your whole demeanor is like non-confident or awkward or nervous or real passive and wimpy. You're fumbling over your words. Your words sound real hesitant and soft-spoken. That's when you're going to lose face. That's when you're going to lose face. So keep that in mind, fellas. A bold, cocky, sexually provocative approach rarely, if ever, will cause you to lose face. It's going to cause you to be talked about, which is what you want. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, fellas.